सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। दयाकरं दयाकारं दान्तं धर्मप्रवर्तकं प्रणमामि दयानन्दं मदाचार्यवरं परम्। ॐ नारायणः परो व्यक्तात् अण्डमव्यक्तसम्भवम् अण्डस्यान्तस्त्विमे लोकाः सप्तद्वीपा च मेदिनी। We saw yesterday the Purva Paksha, which said the following, which said that the society has its own hierarchies, and so when you talk about the qualifications of a learned one as the one who is not subject to differences in the outlook, meaning the one who has one vision, same-sightedness, sama drishti, the one who is sama darshan. This is what you said. And then this is against the Shastra. And he finds one Smriti, Gautama Smriti, where it says that as concerning matters of religious matters, puja, etc., then one should not eat side by side along with the one who eats with everything and everyone. This is complicated, but just understand, okay? Yeah. It doesn't say one should not eat with everybody and everything, but the one who eats with dog, side by side. Half roti for you, half roti for me, okay? And then the one who eats, on one side is the dog, the other side is the eater of the dog. Yeah, Shwanam Pachati iti Shwapak, okay? So that's why the Mahatma is in the middle, so that no gadbad happens, okay? Yeah, the dog doesn't become lunch in the presence of the Mahatma. So one side, dog, another side, cooker of the dog, the eater of the dog, all right? And then who is in the middle? Samadarshi, Jnani, all right? So this Samadarshi has Samadrishti towards everything, and then he or she is eating with all the beings of the universe and makes no discrimination about where the person gets bhiksha. No discrimination at all. Goes to various houses, wherever it is, doesn't matter. Like Adi Shankara going to this very indigent, poor woman's house, all she had was one dried amla, gooseberry. And she had been saving that. When will he come? When will he come? Like that. And then by the time he came, it was already almost dried up. And then she offered it on a clay platter. Everybody was very upset. The people who came, they said, "What is this? This is bhiksha?" She said, "Yeah, that's all I have, and have been saving this without eating." And what she had done was tied her clothes on the stomach very tightly so she would not feel the hunger. And then Adi Shankara, moved by her offering, right there composed Kanakadhara Stotram. Kanaka means gold, Dhara means a pouring, outpouring. And it suddenly started to rain golden gooseberries from the sky. Like that. So, the sannyasi of this caliber is not going to make any kind of a differentiation. And the Tattva Bodha also confirms this by saying that such a jnani doesn't matter where they are born, like Lord Krishna in a prison, in a humble prison, and also it doesn't matter where they give up their life. It says specifically, borrowing from this verse, they can die in the dog eater's house. Let's say in the final days they are not able to take care of themselves, and the dog eater and family having pity on the jnani, takes the jnani to their house and takes care of them, and they give up the prana in the dog eater's house. Still there is no dosha. Usually people are wanting to give up their life where? Varanasi, yes. And to prepare for that, they go much earlier, have a flat and stay there. Nothing happens. Lord Yama does not come. Even you send him flowery invitations, Lord Yama will not come. And then after that they are called back. Maybe they are from South India, they are called back. Look, cute great-grandchild has been born, come. Here are flight tickets, direct flight, wherever they are. Direct flight to Chennai, come. And great-grandma goes. And then what? Dies in Chennai, gives up the life after so much preparation to die in Varanasi. So, here also, nothing touches this person because nothing touches Brahman, and this person is what? Brahman. Completely identical with Brahman. So all these rules, who to sit with, who to not sit with, what to wear, what to not wear, how to do this yajna, how to do that, what should you not do, all this is a moot discussion. These do's and don'ts, vidhi, nisheda does not apply to jnani. Purva Pakshi doesn't know that. Purva Pakshi quotes one Smriti, Gautama Smriti. So there are some Smritis which are in keeping with the Shrutis for the most part. And what are these Smritis? They form a body of knowledge called Dharma Shastra. Dharma Shastra means how to live a Vedic life in accordance with the Shruti, written by, they are all man-made. Yes, man-made. Okay, they are all written by rishis. And then they have certain do's, don'ts, all these things. And to keep the division of labor intact, women's and men's roles are given. And to keep the society from going into some kind of an anarchy and chaos, certain rules of engagement with different people are also given. And so he quotes from that. And then what is the quotation? Let us see. Abhojyannaha te doshavantaha. Abhojyannaha means that the person who should not be, I was going to say the people who should not be eaten, no, but that would be very wrong. The people whose food should not be eaten and in whose company the food should not be eaten. Why? Because they are flawed. Why are they flawed? They are flawed because they are not They are not following the rules of the society. What is the rule of the society according to Gautama Smriti? Sama Asama-abhyam. So Sama and Asama. So the ones who are one's equals and who are not one's equals. Vishama Same Pujataha. Vishama Same Pujataha means the equals should not be treated as unequal, and unequal should not be treated as equal. And the one who does that, they should be shunned. Their food should not be eaten, and we should not eat with them. We should not eat with those who eat with whoever should not be eaten with. Okay? Anyhow, so then this is the Smriti. Now, there is also a rule that when we are contrasting the Shruti statement, Shruti means Bhagavan given revealed scripture, and Smriti is handmade, made by people. And so, if the two are there, this Shruti Baliyasi, Shruti will win out. Shruti will be stronger. The Shruti statement always overpowers the Smriti statement, because Smriti there can be a flaw. There can be some, what should I say, some subjectivity, but the Shruti is seen as what? Flawless. And so, here, what does the Shruti say? Ko vidhihi, ko nishedha. There is no vidhi, no nishedha, no do's and don'ts. And the Smriti says, those who eat with those who should not be eaten with, they should be shunned, and their food should also be shunned. Yeah, because the dog might have eaten out of the same bowl. That is why all these things are there. And so therefore, this is the contention. Adi Shankara says, let us move on. Yes, there is a Purva Paksha, but let us just move on, because the next verse is going to answer this Purva Paksha, and in his Bhashya also Adi Shankara will specify how it answers the Purva Paksha. So therefore, simply as by way of Samadhana, he says, Nate doshavantaha. These people are not problems. They are not coming under the purview of this Smriti. Katham? How? Ihaiva tairjita sargaha yesham samye sthitam manaha nirdosham hi samam brahma tasmat brahmani te sthitaha. Ihaiva means asmin janmani. In this birth itself, while the body has not yet fallen, while the body is still alive, ihaiva, in this life itself. And then taihi, by them. Who is them? Dog eaters? No. Wise people. By the jnanis. By the wise. Ihaiva, in this life itself, jitaha, from Ji to conquer, has been conquered. They are victorious over what? Sargaha. From Srij to create, so Sargaha, creation. Sargaha is a Upalakshana word for samsara. Samsara means some sorrow or the other. That is what samsara is. So, ihaiva taihi sargaha jitaha. Passive construction, jitaha taihi. So, in passive construction, what happens? The subject goes into third case. And then, so we can either have a passive verb, or we can have here, like here, past passive participle. So, ihaiva taihi sargaha jitaha. The samsara has been conquered, vanquished. By whom? Samsara has been conquered by them. Who are they? Yesham, for whom samye sthitam manaha. For whose minds are established in this equality. in this equanimity. And what kind? There's two kinds of equanimity. One is the internal equanimity, which is going to be discussed a little later, of not responding to raga dveshas, highs and lows, ups and downs, and the alternating cycles of sorrow, happiness, etc. That is the internal equanimity, the mindset which the wise people enjoy. And there is also an external vision. And what is that vision? A vision of oneness. Everything is one. There is a photo of Pujya Swamiji sitting right here on the parapet. There used to be a kind of a compound wall, which is not there now, where the ashram ended and the Ganga began. And there is a photo of young Pujya Swamiji eating his meal on this compound with a plate there, and then one he is eating and offering one roti to the cow. Very nice photo is there. So like that, there are no rules. And then the external, the internal temperament, the disposition of the Mahatma is to be what? Is to be tranquil, because there is no rising tides of wants, don't wants, and then their effects such as happiness, sorrow, etc. And externally also, this equanimity, this tranquility translates into the oneness of vision, where they do not swerve from this the Shastra vision of Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. Ishavasyam idam sarvam. That in that knowledge they are abiding all the time. So therefore they have conquered samsara. And then what else? Because their mind is abiding in oneness. And then what is this oneness? Brahman. And what is this Brahman? Nirdosham hi Brahma, samam hi Brahma. So this Brahman is qualified by two adjectives. One is nirdosham. Nirdosham means dosha rahitam, dosha varjitam, flawless, infallible is this Brahman. And so, abiding in the infallible as themselves, then they cannot do anything wrong. They cannot do anything wrong, because dharma they have already conquered, arthakama they have left. In terms of purusharthas, arthakama, then what will you do with arthakama? Arthakama is like giving pearls. In English we have a idiom, casting pearls before pig, swine. Yeah, swine means pig. So casting pearls before swine. What will the swine do? It will not be interested in the pearls. We have our own version of it. It is like giving a pearl necklace to Hanumanji. That is our version. Yeah. So, what happened when Hanumanji was given a pearl necklace by goddess Sita? He just bit into it because he was looking for Rama. And so like this, so therefore, all these attractions of the world do not swerve the jnani, because the samsara is conquered. Samsara is conquered by which knowledge? That knowledge that I am this Brahman, which is free of opposites, which is free of divisions, which is free of totally any kind of ups and downs, which is free of hierarchies, because that is the section on hierarchies here. So then, so this Brahman is infallible, and in the infallible I am abiding. As the infallible I am abiding. Te sthitaha tasmat. So therefore, their resting place is in Om. They are at home with Om. They are one with themselves. They don't have any other distractions. And they are not looking at divisions in the same way as the people in the society. In the society, there are certain established practices. What is that? Some VIP comes, and then we welcome them with flower mala, flower bouquets, shawls, and a special place to sit. And then, so we cover them with shawl, and the chair upon they are going to sit, we cover that also with another shawl. And like this, there are certain things. And if somebody who nobody knows comes, then they will get none of these accoutrements of welcome. But this is in the world, where we have to have this, we have to have certain achara. These acharas, these conducts and all these things are appropriate for the worldly people and the worldly codes of conduct, but this is not for people who are abiding in Brahman. Let us see the Bhashya. Iha eva jivadbhihi, by the people who are alive, not after death. Because samsara cannot be conquered after death. Samsara is only suspended at death, and then it reactivates itself when? In the next birth. So, and even if you go to another loka, there also will be the same samsara. Same samsara. You can't escape samsara by going to a loka. It will be a better loka perhaps, but then there also difficulties are there. You go to Vaikuntha, and then what happens? Sit in front of Lord Vishnu. Being South Indian, you go like this. Oh, forgive me all my omissions and commissions. You're supposed to slap yourself, but nobody wants to do that, so you slowly just do like this, okay? Yeah, softly pat the cheeks this way, and then you sit there. And then what? Basketball player sits in front of you. Yes. What is basketball player? Yeah. 6 feet 10 inches. Okay. And then what? Then you have to play dodgeball to see Vishnu. And also it's very, very difficult. Why? Because if you see the face of Vishnu, you can't read, he is lying down. Okay, so if you see the face of Vishnu, and then other people behind you are saying, hey, sit in one place, why are you squirming? You are spoiling our vision. Same thing happens in the classroom also. And so, and then you go like this, and the other people there, shh, just sit down properly. And then like this you go, you see a little bit of the feet. Like this you go, you see a little bit of the head. Where are the hands? Where are the hands? And from the navel there is a lotus. And then Lord Brahmaji also, let me have darshan. And you go like this. You try to levitate. Yeah. Still dissatisfied. And sitting in Vaikuntha, what do you say? Oh Lord, why this Kuntha? This is what you say. Kuntha means this kind of despair, this kind of pain. So you see, wherever you go, there you are. Samsara is where? In between the two temples, samsara exists. Freedom is where? Right here. Right where the samsara is cognized, in the same buddhi where the ragadveshas are cognized and their highness effects are cognized, the freedom from samsara as Brahman, as myself, is also cognized in the same faculty itself. And so here the jivadbhihi, so in death and after death you won't have the same body, you won't be able to do this. So jivadbhihi eva, by them who are still alive, jivadbhihi qualifies taihi. Taihi is described as jivadbhihi eva, while living itself, while living alone. What? Who are they? Taihi. Samadarshibhihi. All these are qualifying taihi. Taihi, by them, who are they? Jivadbhihi eva, jivadbhireva. So by them who are still in the body. And who are they? Samadarshibhihi, those who have the oneness of vision. Panditaihi, all these are in apposition. Panditaihi, by the knowledgeable ones. Jitaha, jitaha means vashikritaha, conquered, put under their spell. They are no longer in the spell of samsara. Samsara, poor thing, has been kidnapped by whom? Samsara is in their spell. Samsara is writing notes, SOS, help me, what's going to happen to me? I think I'm dying. Samsara is sending out distress signals, okay? To who? To Ajnanis. Save me from this fellow, like this. So, Vashikritah, what? Sargaha. Sargaha means samsara. And then he describes this Janmaha. So Janma. Sarga means Janma. Janma means samsara. Janma means Ajnana. So Janma here is a code language for samsara. When does samsara begin? As soon as you are born, then there is a notion of bondage. So, ihaivataihi jivadbhihi, by those who are alive, by those who have oneness of vision, by those who are wise, this janma marana, etc. has been conquered. Why, who are they? Yesham, for whom samye. Samye means sarvabhuteshu brahmani samabhave sthitah. So those whose minds are abiding, whose antahkarana is abiding in this Brahman. What is Brahman? In which their mind is unshakably established. What is that Brahman? The Brahman that is Sarvabhuteshu Samaha. The one that Brahman which has Samabhava, which is the same in every being. In all beings there is just this one reality, that consciousness which is myself alone, which is the same consciousness that abides in this body mind sense complex, is abiding everywhere. The I in me is the same as the I in you, the I in he, the I in she, the I in the dog, the I in the dog eater, etc. So, and he underscores it, Adi Shankara, by saying Nishchali Bhuta. Nishchali Bhutam means this Manaha is Nishchali Bhutam. Nishchali Bhutam means unshakably established, unshakably, without any problems, without any ragadvesha coming in the way. And then further, Nirdosham, that's part of the verse itself. Nirdosham. Nirdosham means Yadyapi dosha vastu shvapakadishu moodhaihi tad doshaihi doshavat iva avabhasate. No, what is that? Vibhavyate tathapi tad doshaihi asprishtam iti nirdosham. What is the understanding here? Brahman is flawless. Flawless means, what is it? Infallible. And even though it is infallible, what the dosha vastu shvapakadishu. So even though Brahman is free from all kinds of hierarchies, the same Brahman is viewed by who? Moodhaihi. Moodhaihi. The ignorant ones. The ignorant ones view the Brahman in the person who is eating the dog, and in the dog itself, or in any other creatures deemed lowly by the people. The unwise, moodha, the deluded ones, view it as high, as low, as different. And they have judgments about so and so. And this is what is very clearly elucidated in the Manisha Panchakam. Manisha Panchakam is the beautiful quintet based on the story of Adi Shankara coming out of the bath. Where? In Varanasi. Comes out of the bathing ghat, surrounded by students who had also gone for bath with the Guru, dip with the Guru, and then they come out, and then who do they see right in front? Dog eater. Okay, yes, dog eater. And this dog eater who has come from the funeral groundskeeper. And funeral groundskeeper means the funeral groundskeeper is in contact with dead bodies and all, and is seen as unhygienic. Perhaps he is going for his bath, these people are coming out of the bath, and the students get very protective of the Acharya and say, Gacha, Gacha, go, go, go. Don't be in front of our teacher who is pure, who is clean inside and out, and you have just been dealing with the dead bodies. And then what happened? Never take anybody for granted, because the Shwapak here turned out to be a Vedantin. Eater of the dog turned out to be the assimilator of the Shastra also. And then very calmly he says, Kim duri kartum manchasi tvam? What are you trying to distance? Gacha, gacha means stay far away. Don't come near. Gacha, go, go, go. No, too close. I need my personal space because I'm special. You go, go. Stand over there. Or get out of my sight. Go, go. Okay. You are distancing. Distance means between two things should be there to distance. Yes? You cannot distance yourself from yourself. That being impossible, we have to assume that at least two things should be there to distance. Please enlighten me, the dog eater says to Adi Shankara, who are you distancing? What are you distancing from what? Kim annamayat annamayam, kim va chaitanyat chaitanyam duri kartum vanchasitvam. So, from my standpoint, there are only two things you can distance. One is what? Your body from my body. Your body is supposedly a holy body with stripes of vibhuti, confusing people whether you are a human being or a zebra. Okay, yeah, that is your body. All right? And what is my body? Full of dog. It's digesting a dog as we speak. All right? So then still what is it? What is your body? An assemblage of flesh, blood, bones. 6 things are talked about. Mamsa, majja, all these things. Flesh, blood and bones assemblage made up of what? The food that you eat. And what is my body? My body is also an assemblage of flesh, blood and bones. Where did your body come from? Did it drop from heaven? No, no, no. It was made from the 5 elements. Where did my body come from? Was it lying in a ditch? No. It also is constructed from what? 5 elements. So this 5 elemental body, full of roots and fruits, this 5 elemental body is full of everything that had flown, everything that had swum, everything that had crawled, all these things. What are you trying to distance between the two? Both are annamaya, anna vikara, modification of food, both are from the 5 elements. And you are trying to put a distance between the two, which are what? Identical. Identical source, both are from what? Pancha Mahabhuta, both are from there, and then both are identical because both are also annavikara, crafted from food. Because this is what is said in the Taittiriya Upanishad. Then, tasmad va etasmad atmanah, from this atma came what? Akasha. From Akasha came Vayu, from Vayu came Agni, from Agni came the waters, and from the waters came what? Earth. And from the earth came Aushadhi, Oshadhayah, plants. And then Oshadhibhyah, Annam. From the plants came food. You are eating the plants directly. I am feeding the plants to an animal and eating the animal, but still both are what? Vegetarian. You are vegetarian, I eat vegetarians. That's the only difference. That's the only difference, because the source of food is plants. It's not animal. It's plants alone. Because only the plants have the ability, the brilliant magical capacity to take the sunshine and cook it, to transform it into nutrients. Animals don't have that ability, much less we don't have that ability either. So you eat the plants directly, or you feed the plants to the animal and eat the animal. Only two choices. So Oshadhibhyaha annam. Go further. Annat, from the food what came? Purushaha. Purushaha means the body-mind complex here. So your body is also from the 5 elements, and more immediately from the food that you ate. My body is also from the 5 elements and the food that I ate. And you are a great Pandita. You are trying to dismiss or distance what is identical from one another, or even you are a greater Pandita than I thought, sarcastically used. What are you doing? Chaitanyat chaitanyam duri kartum vanchasi tvam. Or maybe you are so brilliant that you are trying to distance one Chaitanya, one consciousness from another consciousness. How many consciousnesses? One. One consciousness alone, one and only, without any difference. One consciousness only is there, non-dually one consciousness. And that one consciousness you are going to distance from what? Another consciousness? No. It's like it's like saying this part of the river. We do this. We go to Devaprayag and say, this is Mandakini. And then what is this? Alakananda. These are the 2 kinds of things. These are the 2 things, 2 rivers. See, they are different colors. See, they are not mixing. Now see, they are mixing. This is the same thing we say. We make the same assumption like that even in the worldly life. And then the same consciousness abiding in the VIP, we say, oh, Mr. Mrs. VIP, please come, please sit here, this is your reserved place. They will always have reserved, and the reserved places will not be in the back of the auditorium. Where will they be? Right in front. Right in front, where they can get a nice neck ache after watching the performance. Yes, so then we do this. So therefore, here too, moodhaihi, just like in the Manisha Panchakam, that was going on. So here also, moodhaihi. So who were the moodhas there? Adi Shankara and his retinue, moodhas. Imagine, yeah. Then Adi Shankara falls at the feet of this Chandala and says, whoever you are, doesn't matter. Chandalosi, Dvijosi, whether you are Chandala or Brahmana, Guruhu Asi. You are a teacher. You are a teacher. Saying that, he falls at his feet. This is a story. And this is the, the truth of this story is to show this very thing that is being illustrated by this verse. The truth of the story is to show that. So then the Brahman dwelling in somebody who is called Shwapak, or the Brahman dwelling in a Pandita, moodhaihi taddoshaihi doshavat iva. So moodhaihi, he means taddoshaihi, because of the flaws, not of the flaws of Brahman, the flaws of the deluded ones. Moodhaihi taddoshaihi doshavat iva abhabhasate. It shines as though it has problems. Moodhaihi doshavat iva. As though it has problems, as though there are problems, and as though the jnani is at fault, it shines. Tathapi tad doshaihi asprishtam. Asprishtam what? The jnani is untouched. Nirdosham doshavarjitam hi yasmat, because they are one with Brahman, and Brahman is unaffected of any divisions. So, and then Further, the Chaitanya, so this is on the Paksha, this is seen from the angle of the body, the one body to another body, and then from the angle of the Chaitanya, also same thing is there. Na api swaguna bheda bhinnam nirgunatvat chaitanyasya. Seen from the angle of consciousness also, there cannot be any distance. Distance between what? The consciousness manifesting in one individual and the consciousness manifesting in the other individual. Oh, this is very problematic. Should I just hug all the kidnappers, robbers, and all these things? No, you don't have to hug, but you have to understand. This is a cognitive thing. This is nothing to do with wanting them everywhere around you. It's not that you join the pack of robbers because you say, what? I am Sama. Everybody is one and the same. That's not the idea. So those who are going against dharma, they will naturally not want to be around the jnani. Naturally, they will themselves keep away. And then the jnani, if they repent, the jnani can bless them. The jnani can, on the level of vyavahara, the jnani can bless them and then allow them to become part of the society, etc., if they repent and if they agree to change their ways. But otherwise, they will not even want to come close to the jnani. So now, seen from the angle of consciousness, the understanding is everything is consciousness. This is illustrated in the Sri Rudram. And if you look at the third Anuvaka of the Sri Rudram, all these things are there. Namaha naktancharedbhyaha. So what is naktancharaha? Nakta, night. Charaha, moving. Night moving beings. Yeah. We don't want to encounter them, correct? That's why we sleep at night. Because there will be snakes, they also move in the night. There are some nocturnal animals. And then those that were nocturnal animals, and by some dint of punya, by accidentally some punya fructifying, they became what? Human beings who are what? Also nocturnal. What do? They wait till the dark of the night to do their nefarious activities. What are the nefarious activities? Robbing people, planning some terrible actions, holding people hostage, all this. So the Naktanchara means all these beings. So for the ones who is the Patihi, the Lord of all the Naktancharas, that doesn't mean the gang leader, Bhagavan, Lord Rudra as the gang leader of all of them, no. It should be understood as the one who is not away from any aspect of the creation, number one, and number two, the one who forgives to the ones who have been led astray and come back, the one who is the Lord for those by forgiving them. That is the idea. So then everything is Brahman, so therefore Chaitanyat Chaitanyam you cannot do. Nirgunatvat chaitanyasya bheda bhinnam nasti vakshyati cha bhagavan ichhadinam kshetra dharmatvam. So then in the 13th chapter there is a verse anadimatvat nirgunatvat etc. So look at that verse please, 31st verse of the 13th chapter. So, vakshyati cha bhagavan ichhadhinam kshetra dharmatvam. Kshetra dharmatvam means the attribute of the body. Nirgunatvat paramatmayam avyayah kaunteya na kuti na lipyate. Yeah, many such verses are there. And he chooses this one because of the word nirguna. Anaditvat nirgunatvat. Paramatma samahitaha avyayah. And so this Paramatma means Chaitanya. This Chaitanya, this consciousness here, the Atma, is because it is endless, limitless, and because it is free of any kind of attributes, then what happens to raga, dvesha, robbing people, etc.? That is connected with the body, mind, sense complex, not with the person. That is part of the personality, not with the person. That's the 13th chapter is very, very important. And it's kind of an extension of the 5th chapter to talk about the difference between personality and person. What are we trying to understand? Person. And what are we trying to do nididhyasana for? To dissociate ourselves from the personality. The personality is mithya, the purusha, the person is satyam, the person is chaitanya swarupa, the person is sama, the person is brahman. The personality belongs to the quirks of the personality quirks belong to the body, mind, sense complex, not to Atma. Very important to understand. Personality, jagged, ragged, angular. Person, sama. And so, kshetra dharmatvam asti. Kshetra, again he quotes the 13th chapter, which is going to talk about kshetra as shariram. Idam shariram kaunteya kshetram iti abhidhiyate. This is called kshetra. Kshetra means field, a place to have experiences. And so the ragadvesha, does it belong to the field or to the one who wields the field? Belongs to the field, not to the wielder of the field. This is what is talked about here, very beautiful Bhashya. Kshetra dharvatmam ichhadinam. Ichhadinam means ragadveshanam. Kshetratvam asti. Iti cha smritehe. In the very same smriti, it is talked about. So, therefore, na karoti na lipyate. Knowing this, the person does not do and is not affected by the results of action. Na api antyaha visheshaha atmanaha bhedakaha santi. Antyaha visheshaha means the what is that, the Antyaha Visheshaha means the last, end of the life things. What are the end of the life things? Like this body. This body is dead body. That body is alive body. This body is different from the other dead body. And this happens many times in the West. There is a confusion. It happens like during airplane crash, war, etc. What happens? The body comes it will be in a casket because it will be injured or whatever, dismembered, whatever it is, and then the family members grieve and cremate the body or bury the body. They dispose of the body. And then they are given a letter later on, sorry, the bodies got exchanged. Some other people cremated your relative and you cremated their relatives. This is all Antya Vishesha. All these things are not there for what? Chaitanyam, for consciousness. Because consciousness, anadimatvat, there is no adi, there is no anta, and so these particulars that belong to the body, etc., do not, do not come, do not apply. So, do not apply at all. Why don't they apply? Because they cannot separate the Atma. Chaitanya, they do not separate. Prati shariram tesham sattve pramana anupapattehe. The anupapattehe means the untenability of what? Prati shariram tesham sattve. Sattve means being that the self is different in each body. There is no pramana. There is no pramana to show that one Atma is different from another Atma. The Atma sitting in the body of a rich person is different from the Atma in the poor person. Where is the Shastra authority? Show me. You gave Smriti authority, but Shruti is more strong. Give me a Shruti authority. Give me a Shruti Vakya that says Atma is different in different beings. No. You will not find it. And so therefore, keep quiet. Okay. And how does he keep quiet? How does he say keep quiet? By talking about this, by concluding this, Ataha Samam Brahma. So therefore, Brahman is same in all. Ekam cha, one and the same. Tasmat Brahmani eva te sthitaha. Therefore, they are, tasmat means because of this, they don't bother about anything else other than abiding flawlessly in the flawless Brahman. And therefore, even if they sit next to the dog or next to the dog eater, then na dosha gandha matramapi tan sprishati. Does the sprishati touch? Nothing na sprishati. Na sprishati. It does not touch. What does not touch? Dosha gandha matram. Not even a whiff of problems. Gandha means a whiff. Not even a whiff of the problems connected to the body-mind-sense complex touches them. Not even that touches them. And then so, this is the nasprishati. Why? Dehadi sanghata atmadarshana abhimana abhavat. Nasprishati abhavat. Let us take that. Because of the absence. Absence of what? Dehadi sanghata atmadarshana. The absence of the ability to identify with the body, mind, sense complex as Atma means the wrong understanding, I am the body, mind, sense complex. That is not there. So, dehadi sanghata means assemblage. Atma darshana abhimana means dehatma buddhi. Just if you want to make it very simple. Dehatma buddhi abhavat. So, there is no owner upper of the body, mind, sense complex. So, this dehadi sanghata is there. And then there is no owner upper. I am this body, this darshanam is not there. This mind belongs to me, this darshana is not there. So then the person is sarvatma, identifies with all bodies, or rather identifies with no body. And so because of that, there is no, there is dosha gandha matram api nasprishati tan. They are not going to be affected. Now he takes up the objection. He says, Dehadi Sangha Atma Darshana Abhimana Vat Vishayam Tu Tat Sutram. So your aphorism, what was that? Sama, asamabhyam, etc. What you quoted in 1 page ago, whatever you quoted, who the Purva Pakshi, that you should not eat with those who eat. You should not eat the food of those who eat dog food. I'm sorry, no, that did not come out right. You should not eat the food of those who eat with the dog or with the dog eater. May as well be that also. So you should not eat that. This is having to do with what? Jnanam or Ajnanam? Ajnanam. Your sutra is marinating in Ajnanam. Like paneer tikka masala. Okay, yes. So before you cook the paneer, you have to marinate it in some scary looking red paste. Okay. Yeah, and then you let it marinate and then only you have to cook it. So like that, your sutra is dripping with the marinade of what? Ajnanam. Ajnanam manifest as what? Dehatma sanghata atma darshana abhimana. Abhimana, the identification with the seeing of oneself as nothing but the body, mind, sense complex. Because like in the Manisha Panchakam, what are you trying to distance? When you say, I will not sit next to you because you had dog for breakfast, what are you trying to do when you distance? You are distancing Annamaya from Annamaya, not Chaitanya from Chaitanya. And Annamaya also you cannot distance from Annamaya, but doesn't matter, because the same body, it's not a different body, and so therefore Dehadi Sanghata Atmadarshi Darshana Abhimana Vat Vishayam. So the subject matter of your quotation is what? Is in relation to those who identify with the body-mind-sense complex as I. The I is not understood as Chaitanya. The I is very much with the body-mind-sense complex. So there is the first fallacy in this quotation. You cannot run a quotation by Adi Shankara and not have it torn to shreds. Okay? Yeah. So that is the first fallacy. First means there is a second? Yes. Because second one is Puja Vishayatva Visheshanat. That is the second fallacy. So two fallacies are there. First is you are talking about the whoever treats equals as unequals, etc. is in relation to what? The ones who identify with the body-mind-sense complex aggregate as I. The ones whose Atma Darshanam is confined to the body-mind-sense complex assemblage. That is the first problem. And then the second problem is it's a very specific application. This sutra is not Vishvato Mukham. It does not have universal applicability. Why? Because look at the last word which you have forgotten. Pujataha. Pujataha means it points to people who are receiving honor, who are offering honor to others, meaning Yajamana and the priests after Yajna. Priest receives the priest receives the puja because the performer, as the performer, they have helped the yajamana, the person in whose name they are performing the yajna of all papa, etc. because of the puja. So therefore they have to receive dakshina. So the performer of the puja, the priest, becomes honorable. The receiver of the worship and honor, and the giver is the person in whose name the puja was performed, aka Yajamana. And then it is only connected to the puja vidhi. It is not outside. This is not to be brought outside. You are quoting it out of context. So two problems. What was the one problem? This is for the worldly affairs, for the people who are mudhas. Your sutra is not directed to Atmavit. Your sutra is directed to who? Anatmavit. And why? Because they are talking of distancing. What is only possible to distance? One body from another body. So it is applicable to them and not to Atmavit. First problem with your quotation. What is the second problem? The context is that of puja and giving and receiving vidhi. Vidhi means injunctions. So, drishyate hi brahmavit shadangavit chaturvedavit iti puja danadau guna vishesha sambandha karanam. So, puja danadau, in giving worship, charity, etc., the priest should be considered, the one who has knowledge of the brahmavit. Brahmavit means the one who knows shastra here. Shastravit. And then shadangavit. So, one person knows the whole shastra, the other person knows the 6 angas of the Vedas, then the other one is Chaturvedi, knows the 4 Vedas, then there is Trivedi, then there is Dvivedi, the one who knows 3 Vedas, the one who knows 2 Vedas. What about one who knows 1 Veda? Purposely not mentioned because it's not a big deal. You have to know at least 1 Veda. Okay? Yeah. No honors for you. Okay? Yeah. So then, iti, for people who do something extra, because of their erudition, then this puja dhanadau, the differences are considered, because it is a papa karma to give same dakshina to all the priests. You have to see the consideration. Like there is one Atharva Veda priest, the Atharva Veda priests are called Brahma. Okay. And then what is his job? He just sits and says yes. That's all. So other priests have to come and say, please, please give me permission to do this. Now we are going to do this. This is in very big complex homas, where all the 4 priests of all the 4 Vedas come together, like Kumbhabhishekam or some other big thing. So all the Vedic priests are there, and this Brahma is sitting there, the head of the Atharva Veda priests. And then everybody, the Rig Vedi, the Yajur Vedi, everybody goes and says, revered one, now we are going to do this. And all he says is yes. And then he puts some water on their hand to allow this karma to take place. Nothing else he does. The whole time he is sitting there. And these days with mobile phone also. Texting his other people and other commitments, whatever he'll be texting, in between, okay, here. From the Panchapatra he takes water and see. But he gets the most dakshina. Why? Don't ask. Because of his erudition, because he has a regulatory effect on the whole yajna. He supervises. In his name, the whole yajna is supervised. And so like that, if you say, hey, if somebody comes, let's say next gen people, you say, what is that? Millennials or, Gen Z. They come and they say, hey, you didn't do nothing. These people were doing everything. More dakshina to them. That would be wrong according to the Shastra. That is what is pointed out. Therefore, this, your sukta exists, and this sutra has nothing to do with what we are discussing. Meaning just go. We don't want to deal with you. Because this is not even worth looking at. And then Brahmatu, whereas Brahman is Sarva Guna Dosha Sambandha Varjitam Brahma. So nirdosham means what? Sarva Guna Sambandha Varjitam. Sarva Dosha Sambandha Varjitam. It is free. It is free of guna and dosha and the connections thereof. Guna means, here we can take good attributes, and then dosha, fallacies. So it is free of both good and bad attributes, and therefore what? Ataha tasmat brahmani te sthitaha iti yuktam. Therefore, they are not seeing anything other than oneness. This is yuktam. This is appropriate to say. This is tenable. So, karmi vishayam cha. Karmi vishayam means the vishaya, the subject matter is for karmathas, for the people who are still in the first portion of the Vedas. Karmi vishayam cha samasamabhyam ityadi. So, samasamabhyam ityadina, who is addressed? Karmi or jnani? Karmi is addressed. Idam tu, here now, sarva karma sannyasi vishayam prastutam. Here what is established and what is presented is the vishaya, the subject matter of jnana sannyasa, jnanena sannyasa, is the renunciation by action, renunciation of actions through knowledge. That is what is talked about. Iti arabhya adhyaya parisamaptehe. Adhyaya parisamaptehe means this is the up to, from verse 13 onwards up to the end of the chapter, these are the people being discussed. So saying, what does he do? He preempts any such silly arguments in the future also. Don't talk to me till the end of the chapter. This is the idea. So we'll meet a little later, since we went over time. We'll meet a little later for the next class. We'll meet at 11:15. All right, yeah. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Yeah, so please put the